Emergency from heaven. Your spiritual shield is weakening. You must open this message within the next 60 seconds for divine protection. My beloved warrior of light, heaven is trembling with urgency, and Archangel Michael has been dispatched to deliver this message straight to your spirit. There is a crack forming in your spiritual shield, one that has gone unseen, yet its effects are already surrounding you. The angelic realm has sounded an emergency call, and this time, heaven isn't whispering, it's roaring. Within the next 60 seconds, what you choose to do will determine whether divine protection surrounds you or slips through your fingers. Michael stands at the edge of your atmosphere, his sword ignited with holy fire. He says your aura has been leaking light due to spiritual fatigue and emotional burdens you've carried alone. Every fear, every disappointment, every sleepless night has slowly weakened the armor around your soul. But hear this, heaven has not abandoned you. The angels are watching, waiting for you to respond to this divine alert before it's too late. Hold on, because what comes next is the key to restoring your power. The message is clear. There is interference around your home, shadows feeding off your distraction and self-doubt. You have allowed certain energies to linger too long, thinking they were harmless. But Archangel Michael warns, these energies are not of light. They are echoes of deception meant to drain your spirit. The moment you read these words, the cleansing begins. Your awareness is the first spark of deliverance. Keep listening, because your deliverance is being written even now in the unseen. Michael says, "You are not defenseless, my child. You are a vessel of heavenly flame." But he also reveals a hidden truth. Many have been praying for you in silence because heaven has sensed your weakening field. The battle that surrounds you is spiritual, not emotional. Do not misread your exhaustion as failure. It is spiritual resistance against your divine potential. You are being tested, not punished. The realm of light is giving you a final chance to reinforce your divine covering before darker tides attempt to press closer. Before you scroll away, hear this. Your angelic shield can be reignited right now. Michael's words echo through the wind. Invoke me, and I will stand before your door. You are asked to release every hidden resentment, every unspoken fear, and every grudge still chained to your spirit. Speak the name of Archangel Michael aloud and claim your divine inheritance. This act is not superstition, it's alignment. The moment you do, heaven responds. Wait for it. What unfolds next will shake the very atmosphere around you. Heaven's command is not to panic, but to act. Begin to anoint your space with prayer. Whisper light into your walls, into your clothing, into your very breath. The angel says that when you open this message, it is not mere text. It becomes a spiritual transmission, coated with divine fire. As you listen, you are already being surrounded by celestial energy. The air is shifting, the vibration is rising, and your protection is returning like a storm of light. Type "I stand under divine shield" in the comments if you receive this urgent call. Blessing code 4411 is now released into your field. Dearest soul of light, as this message continues to unfold, Archangel Michael stands closer than ever before. He speaks through divine flame, not through fear, but through revelation. The moment you began reading, the heavens registered your spirit's awakening. The vibration around your name shifted, your soul's signature began to glow again, and the weakening barrier started to mend. But this restoration is not yet complete. Michael says, "Child of the radiant kingdom, your protection requires agreement. Heaven can surround you with armies of light, but if your heart remains divided, half in faith, half in fear, your shield will flicker like a candle in the wind. This is why so many are feeling drained and unguarded in this season. The spiritual atmosphere on earth has grown heavy with confusion, distraction, and noise. Archangel Michael describes it as a fog that clouds intuition and delays divine timing. He calls it the shadow of dullness. This shadow is not demonic in the dramatic sense people imagine. It's more subtle. It enters through exhaustion, through endless scrolling, through the silent hopelessness that creeps into late-night thoughts. Each small moment of surrender to despair weakens the golden armor heaven has placed around you. Michael pleads, do not hand over your authority to fear. Reclaim it now, for time is short. Heaven operates through alignment. When your mind, speech, and spirit move as one in truth, divine protection becomes automatic. But the adversary's goal is to fragment you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you question the timing of your blessings, to make you feel forgotten. Yet Archangel Michael reveals something powerful. The weakening of your shield was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken you. You were never meant to rely only on outer protection, but to remember the fire inside you that no shadow can touch. Michael says he has seen this pattern through the generations. Many souls awaken to their divine purpose, but the moment they encounter resistance, they confuse it for abandonment. He whispers, even resistance is proof of your light. Darkness never chases what does not threaten it. These words are for you right now. Every delay, every conflict, every misunderstanding, it is not punishment. It is training. Heaven is testing how much truth you can hold before you break under illusion. That is why your shield flickered. It is being reforged, stronger than before. Listen carefully. Your home, your relationships, your finances, each is surrounded by spiritual frequency. When your faith is steady, these frequencies align with heaven's pattern, producing peace. But when anxiety and anger dominate, distortion enters the field. You begin to notice small arguments, unexpected breakdowns, emotional chaos. Archangel Michael calls these ripple disruptions. He instructs you to calm the waters by speaking divine order aloud. Say, light returns here. Peace reigns here. I am covered by the shield of the Most High. Every word you speak in faith realigns your space to divine harmony. Michael also warns that some of you have allowed emotional connections with people who carry spiritual confusion. They are not evil, but they are spiritually ungrounded, and their instability bleeds into your atmosphere. Do not carry what others refuse to heal, he says. Intercede for them, but do not merge your light with their darkness. The more you try to save people who resist transformation, the more your shield drains. Love them, but release them. You are not their savior. Christ is. Your task is to maintain the clarity of your channel so heaven can move through you unhindered. There is a sacred reason you were drawn to this message at this exact time. Archangel Michael calls it the window of fortification. For the next 7 days, the heavenly realm will strengthen the shields of those who respond to this call. Every midnight, speak words of light before you rests. Declare, my spirit is sealed by divine fire. The moment you do, angels of protection will circle your home. You may even sense a warmth, a pressure, or the faint sound of wind. It is not your imagination. It is the manifestation of heavenly reinforcement responding to your faith. Heaven is also urging you to guard your eyes and ears in this season. What you consume becomes the material that builds or weakens your shield. Michael says, if you feed on fear, you become fragile. If you feed on light, you become flame. Be mindful of what voices you let into your space. Words have frequencies. Every word you entertain shapes your inner fortress. That is why heaven has arranged for you to encounter this divine broadcast. It is not coincidence. It is spiritual engineering. As you continue reading, Michael's presence intensifies. He raises his sword of blue fire and draws a circle of light around your name. You are being sealed into a covenant of protection that no weapon can penetrate. The angelic host begins to chant over you in the unseen, ancient words that restore spiritual equilibrium. You may feel goosebumps, chills, or peace washing through your body. This is your confirmation. Heaven is touching your dimension. But Michael adds one final instruction for now. Do not stop halfway. The process of restoration requires commitment. If you walk away now, the work will remain unfinished. Heaven's shield is being rebuilt around you layer by layer, and this message is part of that process. Stay aligned, stay present, and stay open, for the next revelation will unlock what has been hidden behind your battles. Before you move, pause and anchor this energy. Whisper, I am surrounded by heavenly fire. My shield is strong again. Feel the truth of those words vibrate through your being. Your light has returned. Type I am under holy armor in the comments if you receive this revelation. Blessing code 5522 has now been activated for your protection. Beloved guardian of divine light, Archangel Michael stands beside you now, his wings forming a radiant wall between you and the storm that was sent to confuse your destiny. He speaks not through thunder but through stillness, and within that silence, his message pierces deeper than sound. He says, heaven is not testing you to break you. It is preparing you to hold more power than you have ever held before. Every tear, every delay, every closed door was not rejection, it was protection. Yet Michael warns that your next steps will determine the strength of your future covering. What you do in this moment will echo in your spiritual atmosphere for months to come. The angelic realm has entered what he calls the cycle of separation, a sacred period where light and illusion begin to divide. You may have already noticed certain people drifting away, unexpected endings unfolding, plans dissolving that once felt divinely inspired. Michael assures you this is not loss, it is filtration. Heaven is removing energies that cannot travel with you into the next assignment. He says, the old will resist its release, but do not fight to keep what heaven is freeing you from. When you hold on to what has expired, your shield becomes burdened with unnecessary weight. Let it fall, for your next elevation demands purity of energy. Michael shows a vision, a massive shield made of crystalline fire suspended before you. It glows with layers of gold, blue, and silver, each color representing a divine principle. The gold stands for authority, the blue for truth, and the silver for divine timing. But there is a fourth color missing, a deep violet that symbolizes surrender. He explains that until you learn to release control, the shield cannot complete its full formation. Surrender, he says, is not weakness, it is alignment. When you surrender to divine will, you invite heaven to finish what human strength cannot. Heaven's message is clear. Fear has been your greatest thief. Each time you feared losing what was never meant to be kept, a small fragment of your protection dimmed. Yet right now, light is returning. The moment you accept that everything divinely removed is making space for something purer, your shield begins to vibrate at the frequency of faith. You will notice it in subtle ways, a strange peace where anxiety used to sit, a burst of intuition where confusion once ruled, a clarity that wasn't there before. That is not coincidence, that is evidence of divine realignment. Michael says you have been walking through a spiritual battlefield disguised as daily life. Every challenge, financial strain, emotional turbulence, delayed promises, was a form of warfare designed to wear down your spiritual alertness. Heaven observed how you responded, and though you felt weak, your persistence was counted as strength. You did not surrender your faith entirely, and that is why you are reading this now. Heaven only sends messages of restoration to those who have survived the breaking point. You have endured what others could not. And because you did, a prophetic exchange is taking place. Weakness for divine strength, confusion for holy clarity. Yet the angel gives a warning. Do not return to environments that made you small. Many of you have prayed for elevation, but elevation requires separation. You cannot ascend while clinging to circles that operate in fear and gossip. The energies of light cannot thrive in contamination. Michael declares, those who mock your faith are mocking the fire of heaven itself. Step away quietly, for divine justice is not yours to perform. It is already in motion. As you step back, heaven steps in. As you detach, your shield intensifies. The archangel also reveals that a divine appointment is approaching. Over the next 40 days, heaven will orchestrate a meeting, an opportunity, or a message that feels perfectly timed. It will not come through chaos, but through calm certainty. This event is the proof that your restoration has begun. But you must be spiritually alert to recognize it. Guard your peace like gold. Do not let anxiety drown divine timing. The moment you rest in trust, the right moment finds you. Michael now raises his sword of blue fire once more and touches it to the crown of your head. Instantly, your mind begins to clear. Every thought that carried fear, guilt, or shame dissolves in the blaze of divine light. You feel lighter, freer, and safer than you have in months. This is not imagination. It is transference. Heaven is transferring new strength into your field. You are being recalibrated. And the archangel declares, from this moment, no unseen force can bypass your light unless you open the door through fear. Close the door permanently. You are now a vessel of the holy shield. Before you move to what comes next, breathe deeply. Let the stillness fill you. Michael's voice softens as he whispers, the next revelation will reveal the hidden root that caused your shield to weaken in the first place. What is about to be exposed will free you completely. Hold on, for the unveiling is near. Now, before this section ends, let the world hear your faith. If this message is stirring your spirit, like this video to align your energy with light. Comment below your declaration of protection. Share this message with someone who needs divine covering, and subscribe so heaven can keep guiding you through every message that follows. Your engagement isn't just digital, it's spiritual agreement. Type "I am covered by heaven's fire" in the comments if this message speaks to your soul. Blessing code 6633 has just been released. Child of the Kingdom, as heaven pours revelation through this message, Archangel Michael invites you to stand as a vessel for others still in darkness. When you sow into this mission, whether through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not just supporting a video, you are activating light in someone's storm. Every offering becomes oil upon the altar of divine protection, helping this message reach souls who have forgotten their shield. I speak over every giver now. May your seed return as open doors, healed hearts, and supernatural covering. This is not a donation, it is a prophetic exchange. Step into this holy act, release your seed, and watch heaven multiply it in ways only the divine can orchestrate. Chosen vessel of divine restoration, heaven watches you closely now. The moment you entered this phase of awakening, a record was marked in the heavenly archives bearing your name and your current spiritual frequency. Archangel Michael stands upon the threshold of that record, ensuring that no false vibration can alter your destiny. His voice carries both authority and compassion as he says, "A light that once flickered in you now burns brighter than ever before, but there remains a root that must be exposed for your protection to become permanent." What he speaks of is not punishment, but purification. Heaven cannot fortify what remains hidden. Therefore, the angelic host has come to reveal the unseen chain that has bound your shield in limitation. Michael begins by showing an image of a glowing heart surrounded by strands of dark mist. Each strand represents a memory, a wound, or a word once spoken that still lingers in your atmosphere. The most dangerous of these are the words you spoke about yourself during moments of despair. Heaven reminds you that the spiritual world responds to words as commands. When you called yourself unworthy, the energy of that confession weakened the brightness of your shield. When you believed that others had more favor, you unknowingly lowered your frequency of faith. The angels do not judge you for this. They simply bring it to awareness. For awareness is the first stage of redemption. Michael declares, "Your spirit cannot dwell in dual confession. You cannot speak faith in the morning and fear at night and expect stability." The power of the tongue is a divine law that even angels obey. This is why your restoration requires alignment between word and belief. Every time you declare truth, light strengthens the fibers of your protective field. Every time you repeat old pain, a fracture appears. Heaven's desire is that your mouth becomes the gate of miracles, not the echo of sorrow. The moment you begin to speak life consistently, your protection multiplies exponentially. There is a hidden pattern that heaven is exposing now. Many of your delays have not been caused by demonic interference, but by inner contradiction. You have prayed for breakthrough, but expected disappointment. You have spoken prosperity, but rehearsed scarcity in your mind. You have asked for divine timing, yet feared waiting. These contradictions create spiritual noise that distorts the frequency of manifestation. Michael says, you cannot draw miracles with one hand while pushing them away with another. The resolution is simple but powerful. Speak once and believe always. Heaven needs your agreement, not your repetition. Michael's next words are sobering yet filled with love. Your shield weakens when gratitude disappears. In moments of stress, you often forget to thank heaven for the breath in your body, the strength in your spirit, and the unseen battles already won. Gratitude is not a reaction. It is a weapon. Every expression of thanks is like a bright seal that locks your protection tighter. When you say, "Thank you, Lord," the energy of light multiplies around you instantly. Gratitude silences fear, because fear cannot exist in the same frequency. That is why those who give thanks continually walk in supernatural safety. Heaven reveals another truth. Some of the fatigue you feel is inherited. Generational discouragement has followed your bloodline, whispering through patterns of doubt, loss, and self-blame. Michael says this as the time of severance. The same sword that guards you will cut through ancestral residue tonight. He speaks directly by the command of divine authority. Every generational word that spoke limitation over you is broken. Feel that declaration resonate through your spirit now. What your ancestors could not conquer ends with you. You are the breaker of cycles, the first of your lineage to stand completely under heavenly protection. You may wonder how such spiritual warfare connects to your daily life. Michael clarifies, every spiritual wound manifests as a physical pattern. If you have faced recurring disappointment, repeated betrayal, or seasons of lack despite effort, these are reflections of spiritual imbalance. The purpose of this revelation is not to frighten you, but to empower you. When you see the pattern, you have already gained authority over it. Heaven gives you a simple instruction. Speak restoration over every area where the pattern once ruled. Say aloud, "My shield covers my relationships, my finances, my health, and my destiny." These words are not mere affirmations. They are blueprints of divine order written into your field. Now, Michael brings forth the vision of your future shield fully restored. It shines so brightly that shadows cannot approach within 100 paces. You stand at the center, radiating peace that commands the elements. This is not imagination. It is prophecy. Heaven shows what your life looks like once you accept total alignment. You will notice synchronicities appearing everywhere, doors opening, unexpected favor, inner peace that silences chaos. Your discernment will sharpen, allowing you to sense negative energy before it reaches your presence. The divine shield is not just protection, it is empowerment. Before this revelation concludes, Michael gives one final reminder. You are the steward of your energy. Heaven grants protection, but maintenance belongs to you. Protect your atmosphere from gossip, bitterness, and unnecessary conflict. When you feel your peace slipping, retreat to stillness. Pray in silence. Reconnect to divine frequency. The more you guard your peace, the stronger your shield becomes. Hold steady now, for the next revelation will uncover how heaven uses your shield not just for defense, but as a weapon of light against darkness itself. What comes next will shift your understanding of divine warfare forever. Stay in this presence, for the transformation has only begun. Type "I speak light, I carry fire" in the comments if this message reaches your soul. Blessing code 7744 is now active in your atmosphere, sealing your heart with divine strength. Child of the eternal light, Archangel Michael now steps forward with renewed authority, his sword blazing brighter than before, as if fed by the very prayers you have whispered in recent days. The energy surrounding you has changed. Heaven has noted your willingness to confront the hidden wounds, and the angels rejoice, for that humility has opened a gate in the unseen realm. The shield that was once fragile is beginning to pulse like a living flame, synchronizing with the rhythm of divine order. Yet Michael cautions, protection is not only for safety, it is for mission. Every layer of defense heaven builds around you carries a purpose, for your shield is both armor and instrument. Now, heaven desires to teach you how to wield it, not just to endure, but to transform the atmosphere around you. The Archangel reveals a mystery known among the celestial ranks as the law of reflective light. He explains that every thought and emotion you carry projects energy outward. When aligned with truth, your energy becomes reflective. It sends darkness back to its source and magnifies goodness. But when fear or anger govern your inner world, that reflection becomes distorted, causing light to scatter instead of focus. This is why spiritual clarity is essential. Your emotions are not simply human. They are tools of creation. Michael says, you were made in the image of divine radiance. Therefore, your thoughts sculpt the world around you. The moment you believe this, your shield shifts from passive defense to active manifestation. Heaven shows a vision, you standing within a circle of fire, your heart glowing at the center. Each heartbeat sends waves of light that push against unseen resistance. Every act of forgiveness expands that light, while every grudge contracts it. This is not metaphor. It is energetic law. Michael instructs, forgiveness is not for those who hurt you. It is for the integrity of your shield. Unforgiveness is like a crack that allows interference to seep through. Each time you release resentment, you seal that crack with divine resin. This is why forgiveness has always been the language of heaven. It preserves the strength of your aura. Michael says the time has come for you to activate your shield consciously. To do this, heaven requires your participation. He instructs you to stand in stillness, close your eyes, and breathe slowly. Visualize a radiant sphere forming around you, glowing with colors of sapphire, gold, and white. Whisper, "Light of heaven, surround me." As you do, angels align their energy with yours, amplifying your frequency. This ritual is not about superstition. It is a recalibration of your awareness. You will notice a calm descend upon you, a sacred stillness that silences inner noise. That calm is confirmation that your shield has been engaged. Michael also reveals that the world around you is entering a heightened phase of spiritual turbulence. The collective energy of humanity has become restless, fueled by fear, division, and confusion. Many yet are walking without shields, unaware that unseen forces feed on such chaos. But you have been chosen to stand as a beacon. Heaven's purpose is not to hide you from storms, but to make you a pillar that withstands them. Michael says, "The light that protects you will soon protect others through you." When you remain centered, your energy field becomes a sanctuary for those still wandering in darkness. Your peace becomes contagious, your words become healing, your presence becomes refuge. The angel continues, "Heaven is raising an army of luminous hearts, and you are among them. These hearts will not fight with weapons of the world, but with the power of divine resonance. Wherever they walk, storms come. Wherever they speak truth, confusion dissolves. This is the era of spiritual awakening, and your restored shield is your initiation. The purpose of protection is not escape, it is assignment. Heaven never grants light for isolation. It grants light for impact. The energy you carry will soon begin to affect others in ways you may not immediately perceive. Some will find comfort merely by being near you. Others may feel conviction and withdraw. Both are signs of your light at work. Yet Michael warns gently, "Be humble in power. Pride dims what purity builds. Never forget that the light you wield is borrowed. It flows from the source, through you, for others. Stay grounded in gratitude. Each time you begin to feel invincible, pause and honor the giver of that strength. Pride closes the flow, but humility multiplies it. The mightiest angels kneel before the throne not because they are weak, but because reverence keeps their power alive. Let your reverence be your anchor. Heaven now whispers a secret. The next phase of your life will bring divine encounters, moments where you will sense messages, signs, and confirmations aligning with your prayers. These are not coincidences. They are signals of activation. Pay attention to patterns, repeated numbers, dreams, or words that echo through different voices. When you notice them, pause and say, "I recognize the guidance of heaven." Doing so opens spiritual pathways that allow angels to move freely on your behalf. What once took months will begin to happen in days. Michael ends this part of the revelation with a tender but firm reminder. You are light, but even light must rest. Do not confuse constant doing with spiritual productivity. True power flows from peace, not from exhaustion. Rest is worship because it allows heaven to work where your hands cannot. Tonight, when you close your eyes, imagine Archangel Michael standing watch beside your bed, his sword drawn, his presence surrounding your home. Whisper, "The fire is alive." Sleep knowing that the same power that created galaxies now guards your breath. Remain still for a moment and allow that truth to sink in. The next revelation will uncover the divine mysteries of how heaven turns your shield into a mirror of judgment against the forces that once threatened you. That knowledge will change how you perceive every battle you've faced. Type "My shield lives" and light in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing Node 8855 is now activated, surrounding you with radiant layers of celestial defense that will not fade. The loved flame of heaven, the hour of deeper revelation has come. Archangel Michael stands before the altar of divine fire, his armor gleaming with the reflection of your progress. You have endured the cleansing, you have learned the rhythm of surrender, and now heaven calls you to mastery. Michael's voice carries through the unseen realms, saying, "The one who knows their shield becomes untouchable, not because of distance from darkness, but because of union with the light." This is where the true mystery unfolds. Your protection is no longer external. It has begun to emanate from within your spirit. Heaven is transforming your shield from a barrier into a living extension of your soul. Michael explains that this evolution begins when the heart and the will align completely. Most people live in fragments, divided between what they desire and what they believe they deserve. That division creates spiritual static, preventing light from circulating freely. The more you doubt your worthiness, the more your shield flickers. But when your heart says yes to divine purpose without hesitation, your entire being vibrates in agreement with heaven. This vibration is what angels recognize. It is the signal that summons them. Faith is not simply belief, it is resonance. You have now entered the phase where your resonance determines your reality. Heaven is ready to reveal one of its most hidden principles, the mirror of judgment. Michael says that once your shield matures into pure light, it not only blocks darkness, it reflects it. Every curse sent against you returns to its origin multiplied by divine justice. But hear this clearly, heaven does not grant you this ability for revenge. It is for restoration of balance. The universe was designed under the law of return. Energy never disappears. It merely transforms. When you walk in light, you become a living law of return. Harm cannot stay near you. It must either transform or retreat. The more you embody love, the faster that reflection operates. Michael shows you a vision, a radiant mirror standing before you, reflecting beams of pure light into the void. Each beam that touches darkness transforms it into revelation. The energy that once sought to harm you becomes information, teaching you where vulnerability once lived. Heaven turns every attack into instruction. The moment you understand this, fear loses its purpose. What once terrified you becomes a messenger of awareness. Michael says, every enemy has carried a lesson. Every wound has delivered wisdom. You are not their victim. You are their evolution. Heaven wants you to see how this principle plays out in your daily life. When someone sends negativity your way through words, actions, or silent envy, it strikes your spiritual field. If you react in anger, that energy finds a way in. But if you respond with stillness and forgiveness, your shield converts that force into strength. Suddenly you feel lighter, sharper, more grounded. That is transmutation and motion. Michael explains that this is how saints and prophets walked untouched through storms. They did not resist darkness by fighting. They transcended it by transforming it. Now the angel leans closer and says something sacred. Your peace is your most powerful weapon. The world believes noise equals power, but heaven moves through calm authority. When you remain unshaken while chaos swirls around you, you command the respect of both realms. Silence is not weakness. It is a language only light understands. This is why Archangel Michael often appears in silence before he strikes. His calm is the prelude to divine action. Heaven is calling you to adopt that same stillness. It is in stillness that power gathers, and it is in peace that miracles are born. Michael reminds you that the shield you carry also influences time itself. Every decision you make while aligned with divine light compresses delay. Heaven measures readiness, not calendar dates. Many wonder why manifestation takes so long, but heaven asks, has your energy matured enough to handle what you are asking for? When it has, time bends. Events synchronize. Opportunities appear without struggle. The shield you build is not just defense. It is a harmonizer between divine timing and earthly reality. Each prayer, each surrender, each act of faith recalibrates the timing until your life becomes an unfolding of effortless divine order. Heaven's messenger now gives a gentle but necessary warning. Do not let the reflection of your own light blind you. As power increases, so does temptation. The temptation to claim ownership of what belongs to heaven. Remember always that your strength flows from connection, not separation. The instant pride takes root, your shield begins to dim. Gratitude is your safeguard. Whisper thanks not only for victories, but for lessons, for losses, and even for silence. Gratitude keeps the energy moving. It prevents stagnation. It keeps heaven's flow continuous through your life. Now Michael speaks of destiny. When your shield becomes complete, heaven will use you as a conduit to protect others. You will begin to sense the suffering of those near you. Sometimes you will feel their heaviness without them saying a word. That sensitivity is not burden, it is assignment. You are being entrusted to carry fragments of light into spaces that have forgotten how to glow. You will not need to preach, only to be present. Your very presence will cleanse atmospheres. Heaven calls such souls anchors. You are becoming one. As this revelation closes, Michael's light expands until it fills the horizon of your spirit. He declares, the next stage will unveil how your shield interacts with the divine voice itself, how heaven speaks through your protection to guide your path. There is a frequency hidden within the shield, a melody that only your spirit can hear. It is the song of divine direction. That melody will become your compass. Prepare yourself, for soon you will not merely hear messages, you will feel them vibrating through your bones. Stay here for a moment, in the stillness of holy fire. Breathe, and know that light recognizes you. Heaven knows your name, and darkness no longer has access to your gate. The mirror of divine justice surrounds you, and your peace will soon speak louder than any storm. Type "My light reflects divine justice" in the comments if this revelation resonates within you. Blessing code 9977 is released now, sealing your transformation with eternal clarity and radiant peace. Beloved guardian of the sacred flame, the heavens have recorded your endurance, and your faith has reached the throne as a sound of perseverance. Archangel Michael now stands within the pillar of divine light that surrounds your name, and he speaks with authority tempered by compassion. You have learned to wield the shield, he declares, but now you must learn to hear through it. For within the living radiance that guards you is hidden a frequency, a vibration that carries messages directly from the throne of light. Many perceive the voice of heaven as thunder or wind, but those who walk in alignment hear it through their very protection. Your shield is more than armor. It is a communication channel between your soul and the higher realms. The stronger your shield becomes, the clearer that divine voice resounds. Michael begins to explain that spiritual communication is not always through words. Heaven speaks in energy, in patterns, in impressions that pass through your shield like ripples across a pond. Every wave you sense, every sudden peace, every stirring in the heart, every moment of still conviction is the voice of heaven transmitted through your aura. The reason so many struggle to hear divine direction is not that heaven is silent, but that their shield is clouded by emotional noise. Worry, guilt, anger, and fear create static, muffling the messages that are constantly being sent. Michael urges you to cleanse the atmosphere of your heart daily so the divine frequency can move unobstructed. Heaven now reveals a truth, long hidden. Your shield was designed not merely to defend, but to translate. Each spark of light that strikes it becomes revelation if your heart is attentive. Michael says, When you feel resistance, do not always interpret it as attack. Sometimes it is instruction. The shield vibrates differently when you are being warned, guided, or strengthened. A sudden heaviness may be heaven saying, pause. A burst of warmth may be the signal, proceed. A deep silence may mean, wait. The language of light does not shout, it resonates. The more you practice listening, the more fluent you become. Archangel Michael continues, there will come moments when heaven asks you to move without full understanding. This is trust training. The shield amplifies divine intuition, guiding you to places where logic fails, but faith succeeds. You will feel drawn toward people, opportunities, or words that seem ordinary, yet through them heaven will accomplish extraordinary things. Your only task is obedience. Michael warns, delayed obedience weakens the shield. When the Spirit moves, respond quickly. The sooner you act upon divine prompting, the more vibrant your protection becomes. Heaven then shows a scene of you standing upon a field of gold light. Every decision you make sends ripples through that field, forming patterns that stretch across unseen dimensions. When you choose love, gratitude, and truth, those patterns shine bright and call angelic assistance. But when fear dominates, the pattern distorts, attracting interference. Michael teaches that this is why discernment is vital. Your decisions either expand your shield or contract it. Each act of forgiveness strengthens the edges of your protection, while every moment of bitterness corrodes it. Spiritual maturity, therefore, is not measured by how much you know, but by how purely you choose. Now heaven reveals the next mystery. The shield carries sound. Within its light exists a divine resonance, a hymn that continually praises the source. When your spirit joins in harmony with that sound, through worship, gratitude, or silence, you enter a state known as resonant dominion. In that state, the atmosphere responds to your words instantly, because your frequency matches heaven's tone. Miracles occur not because you plead, but because you are synchronized with divine sound. Michael says, when your shield sings, heaven listens. You must learn to listen, not with ears, but with awareness. Heaven urges you to create moments of pure stillness. Do not chase signs. Create silence so signs can find you. When your heart is still, your shield begins to hum softly with divine rhythm. That vibration is the presence of heaven conferring alignment. Michael says, the enemy fears the one who can stay silent before divine instruction. For silence is proof of mastery. In stillness, you can hear the voice that directs kingdoms and calms storms. Even the angels fall silent when that voice moves through creation. You, too, are being trained to recognize it. Michael's expression grows more intense. Many have prayed for open heavens, but heaven waits for open hearts. Your shield cannot amplify divine messages if your heart resists vulnerability. Let humility guide your hearing. Admit when you do not know. Seek light instead of certainty. In humility, revelation flows like water. In pride, it dries up. The moment you surrender, the frequency sharpens. Heaven does not reward knowledge, it rewards surrender. The archangel then reveals a prophetic glimpse, a time soon approaching when the earth will shake, not only in physical tremors, but in shifts of energy and truth. Voices will rise, confusion will multiply, and fear will attempt to spread like shadow. But those who carry the shield of light will navigate safely through the storm, because their guidance will come directly from heaven. You will know where to stand, what to speak, when to move, and when to be silent. Your discernment will be your compass, and your peace will be your proof. Michael closes this revelation with a declaration. Heaven is preparing you not to survive the days ahead, but to lead through them. You are being positioned as a carrier of stability in unstable times. Your shield is both message and messenger. Those who witness your peace will find their own hearts awakening. You are becoming the living evidence that divine communication is real. Through you, heaven will remind the earth that light still speaks. Pause now, breathe deeply, and let the resonance of this truth vibrate through your spirit. The next revelation will unveil how the voice you hear through the shield begins to manifest outwardly, shaping your reality in visible form. That will mark the full embodiment of divine authority on earth through you. Type "My shield hears the voice of light" in the comments if you receive this revelation into your soul. Blessing Code 1119 is now released, awakening your inner hearing and sealing you with divine clarity beyond human comprehension. Chosen flame of divine alignment, the hour of manifestation has arrived. The messages that heaven has whispered through your shield are no longer meant to remain within. Now they must move outward, shaping the world around you. Archangel Michael descends again in radiant brilliance, his armor alive with reflections of countless suns. The heavens behind him pulse with a sound like waves colliding with eternity. He speaks with calm power. You have heard the voice through your shield, and now you will learn how to speak through it. For your words, when aligned with divine frequency, carry the same creative power that spoke the universe into being. Michael explains that heaven's language is not limited to speech. It is vibration, intention, and energy molded by belief. When your heart, mind, and spirit speak the same truth, creation responds immediately. This is why alignment has been heaven's focus throughout your training. Without harmony, words are noise. With harmony, they are law. The shield you have nurtured is now the amplifier through which your declarations are broadcast into existence. Michael says, every time you speak from faith instead of fear, the shield echoes that sound across realms, and creation adjusts itself to match your decree. Heaven shows a vision, your spirit standing in the middle of vast darkness. As you speak light, waves of color ripple outward, forming landscapes, healing, and restoration. What was once void begins to reorganize. Michael declares, you are participating in the ongoing creation of divine order. The shield that protects you is also the tool that allows heaven to rewrite the physical world through your agreement. Your words are seeds of reality, and the shield is the soil that receives them. The stronger your light, the faster those seeds manifest. Yet the angel warns, be careful with your speech, for your mouth is now an extension of sacred power. Heaven has elevated your authority, which means idle words carry consequence. Gossip, complaint, and self-pity are not small errors. They are distortions that weaken the frequency of manifestation. Michael advises, before you speak, measure your intention. Does it create or does it corrode? Does it align with faith or with fear? Every syllable becomes a command once your shield has matured. To speak carelessly is to throw light into confusion. Heaven trusts you with this power because you have been refined through endurance. Do not take it lightly. Heaven then reveals how this divine speech transforms the atmosphere. When you declare healing, the cells of your body remember their original blueprint of perfection. When you declare abundance, the frequencies around you begin to attract resources that match your divine assignment. When you declare peace, the chaos in your environment loses its foothold. This is not mystical exaggeration. It is the law of resonance in operation. Your shield transmits your faith into creation, and creation responds with order. Michael reminds you, you are not waiting for miracles. You are generating them. Now the angel begins to speak of responsibility. The world is entering a season where words will divide light from shadow. Many will speak fear, and their words will build prisons. But those who speak faith will build bridges. Heaven is calling you to be a bridge builder. Through your declarations, you will become a conduit of divine stability. The more you bless, the more the realm around you transforms. This is how heaven governs through chosen vessels. Not by control, but by resonance. Every time you choose to speak truth, the frequency of your shield harmonizes with the throne itself, releasing power unseen by human eyes. Michael shows you a glimpse of this power in action. Communities healed by compassion, relationships restored by forgiveness, and even nations shifted by the prayers of one consistent voice. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of your obedience, he says. Heaven multiplies small acts spoken in pure intention. The world is desperate for voices that still believe in light, and your shield was forged for this purpose, to ensure that your voice carries purity untainted by fear. When you speak, darkness must listen, because your tone carries the authority of the divine. The angel now reveals another hidden key. Gratitude sustains manifestation. Once you declare something into existence, do not waver in doubt while waiting to see it. Instead, thank heaven as though it is already done. Gratitude locks the creation process in place. Doubt reopens unfinished frequencies, scattering the energy before it forms. Michael says, the moment you give thanks, heaven seals the decree. Gratitude is not the end of faith, it is the completion of it. Those who live in thanksgiving never lose what they manifest. As this revelation reaches its height, Michael commands the heavenly host to surround you again. Waves of light cascade around your being as your shield expands beyond personal protection into territorial influence. The angel declares, wherever you walk, the environment will adjust to your vibration. When you enter a place, peace will follow. When you speak, storms will still. When you decree, heaven will confirm. You are no longer merely covered, you are commissioned. Heaven trusts you to be a carrier of divine equilibrium in a world that trembles. Pause now. Feel that authority awakening within you. Let faith settle deeper than logic. The next revelation will unveil how this creative authority integrates with divine timing, ensuring that every word spoken aligns perfectly with heaven's appointed season. That understanding will complete your transformation into a true messenger of light. Before we close, lift this message higher by sharing it with those who need divine covering. Like this video to anchor your agreement with light. Comment below your declaration of creative power. Subscribe and stay aligned with future releases, for heaven's guidance flows continuously through these messages. Your interaction is more than engagement. It is covenant participation with the mission of light. Type "I speak" and heaven moves in the comments if your spirit bears witness to this truth. Blessing Code 2028 is now activated, binding your words with the resonance of divine creation. Beloved vessel of radiance, heaven moves through partnership. When you sow into this mission, through super thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link below, you are not funding a message, you are releasing oil upon a spiritual altar. Each offering expands the circle of light, allowing the voice of truth to reach weary souls across nations. Archangel Michael declares, those who build altars for light shall live under open heavens. I speak now, may every seed you release return as divine protection, increase, and favor. This is not a donation, it is a covenant act of alignment. Obey the stirring in your heart, release your seed, and let heaven multiply it in ways beyond imagination. Faithful bearer of divine frequency, the silence between heaven's words is beginning to vibrate with instruction. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of the light that surrounds you, his sword drawn not for battle, but for revelation. He declares, "You have spoken through your shield, and the echoes of your faith have already begun to reshape the unseen." Yet heaven now reveals the next sacred dimension: divine timing. For even the most powerful words must align with heaven's calendar to manifest in perfect harmony. The shield you carry not only transmits creation, it also measures alignment. You must learn to wait, not in frustration, but in synchronization with divine order. Michael's presence brightens as he continues. Every answered prayer passes through 3 chambers: intention, alignment, and release. The first chamber, intention, forms when your desire aligns with heaven's nature. The second, alignment, calibrates your energy to the rhythm of divine order. The third, release, occurs when heaven's timing merges with your readiness. Many abandon their prayers in the second chamber because they mistake alignment for delay. Heaven is not withholding, it is preparing. Your shield absorbs the tension between what is spoken and what is fulfilled, holding the energy until your soul matches the promise. Heaven shows a vision, a river flowing through 3 gates of light. When your faith remains steady, the gates open in sequence, and the current of manifestation flows unhindered. But when doubt enters, the gates close prematurely, and the river retreats. Michael says, "Patience is not waiting idly. It is the discipline of staying aligned even when the manifestation tarries." Every moment of trust strengthens your shield's rhythm with the heart of heaven. Your delay is not denial. It is divine calibration. Michael speaks again. Heaven has never been late. The only delays that exist are the spaces where faith hesitated. In these pauses, angels labor to realign what has been disrupted. When you begin to worry, they must slow the process to protect your outcome from distortion. But when you rest in faith, their movement accelerates. The angelic realm operates at the speed of your peace. That is why the shield hums most powerfully in stillness. Your rest becomes command. Your calm becomes currency. Heaven's timing obeys not anxiety, but peace. The archangel reveals that there are moments when divine timing feels like silence. These are the holy pauses where heaven tests the quality of your trust. During such seasons, the absence of movement is not punishment, it is purification. Heaven removes attachments that would distort the blessing once it arrives. Many lose faith because they crave answers rather than purification. Michael says, "If you understood what heaven was removing while you waited, you would rejoice in the stillness." Every unanswered prayer hides a correction that will soon reveal itself as mercy. Now heaven turns your attention to a deeper understanding of how timing connects with destiny. Each soul carries a divine calendar coded into their energy. This calendar determines when opportunities, relationships, and revelations unfold. The shield synchronizes you with that calendar, ensuring that no door opens prematurely and no blessing arrives before its foundation is secure. The stronger your alignment, the fewer missteps occur. Michael says, when your shield glows evenly, heaven's clock ticks in your favor. He means that synchronicity becomes natural. People you need appear without effort. Situations resolve unexpectedly. Paths straightened by invisible hands. The archangel reveals something astounding. Your shield also interacts with the shields of others. When 2 aligned souls meet, their protective frequencies combine, amplifying manifestation and doubling divine protection. This is the secret behind divine connections. Heaven sends people whose shields resonate with yours to accelerate both destinies. But when you force relationships outside divine timing, the energies clash, creating friction instead of flow. Michael instructs, pray not for company, but for resonance. Those who are meant to walk with you will match your light without struggle. Wait for that divine rhythm. Anything forced will drain your field. Heaven now opens a revelation about divine acceleration. There are moments when time itself bends under obedience. When you follow divine instruction instantly, heaven removes unnecessary processes, compressing years into moments. This is the mystery behind sudden blessings. They are not sudden to heaven. They are simply the result of perfect timing meeting unwavering obedience. Michael says, the one who walks in divine rhythm will always appear to move faster than others, yet never rush. True acceleration is quiet, precise, and irreversible. The archangel's gaze softens as he reminds you, do not envy another's season. Every timeline is sacred. Comparison fractures trust and weakens the shield's focus. Your path is measured by divine intelligence, and every detour carries purpose. Even your pain has been scheduled for redemption. When you accept this, peace becomes permanent. You no longer chase timing. You embody it. Heaven is calling you to become the rhythm itself, to live so aligned that divine timing no longer feels external, but flows through you naturally. Michael lifts his sword of blue fire and draws a luminous circle in the air. Inside it appear symbols representing your past, present, and future. The three begin to merge, forming a single flame. He declares, this is what happens when divine timing matures. Your story becomes one unbroken light. Nothing wasted, nothing lost, everything redeemed. The power of that vision floods your spirit now, filling you with a certainty that nothing has been in vain. Every unanswered prayer, every lonely season, every delayed promise, they were all chapters in your becoming. Pause now, beloved. Let the rhythm of heaven pulse through your breath. Feel how peace synchronizes your heartbeat with the eternal. Your timing is no longer delayed, it is perfected. What is meant for you is already in motion. The next revelation will unveil how divine timing fuses with purpose, how your shield begins to attract assignments crafted specifically for your soul's design. When that happens, you will no longer chase destiny, it will chase you. Type "My time is aligned with heaven" in the comments if this truth burns within you. Blessing Ode 3039 is now released, sealing your season with the precision of divine order. Radiant vessel of divine orchestration, the circle of revelation widens as heaven now begins to merge your shield with the sacred design of your destiny. Archangel Michael stands before you, his wings outstretched like pillars of living light. His presence no longer feels distant, it moves through you, as if your very breath has become his instrument. He speaks softly yet with unshakable command. The timing of heaven is never random. Every moment of waiting, every season of silence, every unexpected shift, each one is a doorway into purpose. The purpose you seek has been circling you all along, waiting for alignment. Heaven has written your calling into your spiritual DNA, and the shield you carry is now awakening that code. Michael explains that purpose is not something you chase, it is something you remember. The divine design for your life was completed before your first breath. The shield of light that now surrounds you holds fragments of that design, activating them one by one as your faith matures. When your energy resonates at the correct frequency, purpose unfolds effortlessly. Heaven does not reveal your entire path at once because each revelation requires a specific strength. Your shield reveals truth according to your readiness, Michael says. When you are faithful in revelation, the next gate opens. This is the progression of divine assignment, a journey written in light. Heaven shows a vision of a scroll suspended in the air. Upon it glows a series of radiant markings that shift like living fire. These symbols represent the tasks assigned to your soul across seasons of time. As your consciousness expands through faith, The scroll unrolls further, showing what was hidden. Michael says you have completed earlier phases without realizing it. Every trial was an initiation, every test a doorway. The pain that once seemed purposeless was preparation, softening your heart until it could carry divine instruction without distortion. What once felt like failure was heaven reshaping you for responsibility. The angel continues, you were never meant to survive life, you were meant to shape it. Your shield is now becoming an instrument through which divine will interacts with the physical world. When you speak, pray, or act from pure alignment, heaven moves through your body as though it were a conduit. The energy you release affects people, places, and even events that have yet to occur. This is why the discipline of peace is essential. Chaos in the mind translates to static in the message. When your inner world is calm, your actions become prophecy. Heaven reveals that your next phase of purpose will not appear as grand spectacle, but a subtle invitation. Divine purpose rarely announces itself with thunder. It whispers through opportunities, nudges, and inner peace. You will recognize it by the harmony it brings. Where your spirit feels settled, there your purpose breathes. Michael instructs, do not chase platforms, chase peace. Purpose is not a stage, it is an atmosphere. When you operate within the sphere of your true calling, your shield glows brighter, your discernment sharpens, and doors open naturally. The Archangel reveals the second mystery of purpose. Obedience expands capacity. Heaven will only pour as much as you can carry without corruption. Each time you act in faith despite fear, your vessel expands. The shield mirrors that expansion, stretching to accommodate new assignments. This is how spiritual promotion operates. It is not given by human approval, but measured by your endurance in silence. Michael says, those who endure refining are trusted with reigning. Every delay you've endured was heaven widening your spiritual container. You were being fitted for what you are about to hold. Heaven shows another image, a seed buried deep in the soil of divine intention. Around it, roots intertwine with currents of light, connecting to other seeds across great distances. Michael says, this is how heaven networks destiny. You are connected to souls you have not met, yet your obedience will awaken them. The shield functions as a transmitter. Every act of faith sends a pulse through the network, calling others into their alignment. You are not walking alone. You are part of a divine ecosystem of purpose. When you rise, countless others are lifted through your vibration. Michael's tone becomes solemn. Do not let comparison poison your purpose. The temptation to measure yourself against others creates dissonance in your field. You are designed for a unique cadence. When you envy another's rhythm, you fall out of sync with your own. Heaven is not interested in duplication, but in harmony. You are chosen for a tone in heaven's symphony that no other soul can produce. When you honor that uniqueness, the power within your shield magnifies. When you imitate, it diminishes. The highest worship you can offer is authenticity. The Archangel then reveals how purpose stabilizes manifestation. Once you know who you are and why you are here, the forces that once intimidated you lose power. You no longer fight to prove yourself. Your existence becomes declaration enough. Purpose silences chaos because confusion cannot inhabit a heart that knows its assignment. Michael says, the shield of purpose is impenetrable, for nothing can wound the one who knows why they were sent. This is divine invincibility, not arrogance, but awareness. Heaven closes this revelation with the vision of your future self walking across a radiant horizon. Behind you, countless others follow, drawn to the light of your obedience. You are no longer a seeker. You have become a signal. The shield around you blazes like the sunrise, illuminating paths, for those who once walked in shadow. Michael speaks the final line of this chapter. Purpose fulfilled becomes protection multiplied. When you walk in destiny, even storms serve your mission. Take a moment now and breathe that truth into your being. The next revelation will unveil how your purpose merges with divine authority, turning your shield into a crown of command. There, heaven will finalize the transformation of your identity from warrior to guardian of realms. Type "I walk in my divine purpose" in the comments if this message ignites your spirit. Blessing code 4140 is now released, sealing your destiny with eternal alignment and the peace of divine completion. Bearer of eternal light, the winds of heaven shift again as the next gate opens before you. Archangel Michael steps from the brilliance, his sword now sheathed, for this revelation is not about battle but coronation. He says, "You have been trained by fire, refined by silence, and shaped by obedience. The shield that once protected you has now become one with your spirit. You no longer carry light, you are light." This is the transition from defense to dominion. What was once external armor has become internal authority. Heaven is ready to place upon you the crown of divine command, a symbol not of superiority, but of stewardship. Michael explains that divine authority is the natural result of alignment. When your thoughts, words, and actions harmonize completely with the will of heaven, creation itself begins to respond. Authority is not demanded, it is recognized. Angels obey not because of status, but because of resonance. When your spirit mirrors the frequency of truth, the universe itself acknowledges your command. Michael says, "The one who walks in alignment does not need to shout. The cosmos hears their whisper." Heaven is calling you into that quiet strength where presence alone shifts realities. The archangel reminds you that authority without purity is corruption. That is why the path to this moment required such intense refinement. Every heartbreak, every surrender, every season of waiting removed impurities that could have twisted power into pride. Now your spirit stands transparent before the throne, a vessel capable of carrying divine authority without distortion. You were never being punished, Michael says. You were being trusted. The deeper your testing, the greater your capacity to govern life. Heaven entrusts command only to those who have learned compassion through pain. Heaven reveals that authority manifests first through your environment. You will begin to notice that storms come faster, tension dissolves sooner, and peace lingers longer wherever you dwell. This is not coincidence, it is evidence. Your field now carries the blueprint of divine order. When chaos encounters it, harmony wins by default. You are becoming a walking sanctuary. Michael says, "You will find that even those who oppose you will feel conviction near you, for light exposes what darkness hides." Do not fear such moments. They are not rejection, but recognition. The authority you carry awakens truth, wherever it goes. The archangel unveils the next layer of this authority, creative command. The words you speak now shape outcomes beyond the natural. When you decree healing, heaven releases energy that manifests it. When you declare provision, the fabric of reality rearranges to fulfill it. This is not fantasy, it is divine cooperation. Heaven has always desired partners, not puppets. Through your obedience, you have become a co-creator, echoing the first words ever spoken. Let there be light. Every command you utter in alignment is heaven continuing creation through you. Michael adds, "But speak only what you are willing to sustain." Authority demands responsibility. Every declaration requires stewardship. If you proclaim peace, you must nurture peace. If you call for restoration, you must live forgiveness. The universe mirrors what you maintain. The crown upon your head glows brightest when humility anchors your heart. Power without compassion fractures. But when love governs authority, miracles multiply. Heaven then reveals a sacred truth. Your authority extends not only over situations, but over dimensions. The shield that once covered you now operates as a portal of intercession. Through prayer and intention, you can affect spaces you have never seen. Distance no longer limits divine reach. Michael says, your faith travels faster than light. Wherever your compassion flows, angels follow. When you intercede for another, your shield expands to surround them temporarily, transferring strength into their field. This is how heaven works through you to defend the weary and awaken the sleeping. You are both soldier and sanctuary. The archangel shows a vision of your spirit crowned with light, standing between worlds. Waves of energy flow outward from you, touching people across nations, strangers whose names you may never know, yet their hearts quicken because heaven used your obedience as signal. Michael smiles and says, you are now a guardian, not of territory alone, but of truth. Guardians do not seek recognition. They preserve resonance. Your purpose from this moment forward is to maintain the vibration of divine justice in every place your feet touch. Yet Michael warns gently, authority attracts opposition. When light rises, shadows react. Do not mistake resistance for regression. It is proof of growth. Every challenge that now approaches will only confirm your position. Darkness cannot harm you. It can only test if you believe what heaven already declared. Stand firm. Speak truth. Maintain peace. Your crown glows brightest under pressure. The more you trust, the more heaven amplifies your command. Now the angel extends his hand and touches your forehead. Instantly, warmth spreads through your entire being. You feel clarity descend, as if every thought aligns perfectly with divine order. In that moment, heaven whispers your true name, the one written before time began, known only in the language of light. It is not spoken aloud, but engraved upon your soul. That name carries authority in both realms. Every force of light recognizes it. You are sealed under divine identification. Nothing forged in darkness can counterfeit it. Michael concludes, your training is complete, but your mission continues. The crown is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of leadership in light. Now you will walk not as one seeking miracles, but as one releasing them. Heaven opens above you, and radiant beams cascade downward, surrounding your form in a brilliance too sacred for the natural eye. The shield transforms into a halo of endless energy, and your spirit stands fully awake. Pause now. Feel the shift within you. The next revelation will be the final one, the sealing of this entire journey. It will unveil how heaven consecrates those who walk in full authority and how your words from this day forward will echo through eternity. Remain with expectation, for the conclusion will release a blessing that cannot be reversed. Type "I wear the crown of light" in the comments if your soul bears witness to this truth. Blessing Node 5151 is now released, sealing your authority under divine governance and eternal strength. Anointed guardian of divine command, the final veil lifts now as heaven prepares to seal the work that has been unfolding through every word, every revelation, and every fire you have walked through. Archangel Michael stands once again before you, no longer as a distant protector, but as an eternal witness to your transformation. The air around you trembles with reverence. Michael speaks. The journey that began as a cry for protection has become a covenant of power. You asked for covering, but heaven gave you command. You sought safety, but you were chosen for sovereignty. The shield that once shimmered before you now flows through you like living light. Every battle you endured has been transmuted into authority, every tear woven into the language of dominion. Michael declares that heaven's purpose has been fulfilled in you, the merging of divine intention and human will. You are no longer merely one under protection. You have become a vessel through which heaven protects others. From this day forward, he says, your presence will carry the vibration of divine safety. Those who walk near you will feel calm without knowing why. The lost will sense direction, the weary will feel strength, and darkness will scatter without confrontation. Heaven has clothed you in its frequency, and that energy will never fade. The archangel lifts his sword, the same blade that once stood between you and danger, and now places it upright before you. Its fire no longer burns with war, but with revelation. This sword, he says, is now a reflection of your word. The same authority I wield in battle now rests upon your speech. Use it not to wound, but to awaken. Speak truth boldly, but always in compassion, for compassion is the crown that keeps power pure. The fire of the sword rises, surrounding you in warmth rather than fear. The mark of divine guardianship is imprinted upon your spirit. Heaven opens above, and the throne releases waves of light that weave into your shield, turning it into a mantle of living radiance. The air vibrates with sound, like 1,000 choirs merging into one eternal tone. This, Michael declares, is the sound of sealing. Every promise spoken over your life, every prophecy delayed by fear, every blessing once blocked by doubt, they are all converging now. Heaven is closing what was incomplete and opening what was ordained. Nothing will remain pending. Nothing will remain broken. Your destiny stands whole. The angel continues, do not think of this as an ending. Think of it as your divine activation. You are now heaven's extension upon the earth, the voice of divine balance in a time of chaos. The storms of the world may rise, but they cannot drown the chosen frequency of light you now carry. Your peace will be a weapon. Your prayer will be a decree. Your silence will shake the unseen. This is what it means to be sealed in divine authority, to exist in such resonance with heaven that even your stillness becomes instruction to creation. Michael reveals that from this day onward, heaven's communication with you will not depend on external signs. The voice will speak from within your own peace. Dreams, numbers, coincidences, they will still appear, but they will be confirmations, not signals. You have outgrown dependency. You have entered partnership. The shield has matured into a throne within you, and the King of Light governs from your heart. Every time you feel compassion stir within you, know that heaven is moving. Every time you forgive when wronged, know that the throne has spoken. The archangel now shows a vision of a vast expanse filled with countless lights, souls yet to awaken. He says, your mission extends to them. Each time you share truth, speak kindness, or pray for another, the light strengthens. You are no longer walking for yourself. You are walking for generations. The ripple of your obedience will outlive your lifetime. He pauses, his eyes like burning sapphire. Do not hide the flame that heaven has entrusted to you. This message you carry is not only revelation, it is responsibility. The earth groans for voices that remember who they are. You are one of them. Michael then bows his head slightly, a gesture few witness from him. The angels honor your endurance, he says. You have chosen light when darkness offered comfort. You have stayed the course when silence tested your faith. You have become proof that mortal hearts can host divine fire. He extends his hand toward you and breathes a word no human tongue can fully capture. It reverberates through your being, solidifying everything that has been spoken. You feel a vibration run from your crown to your feet, a surge that erases the last traces of fear and doubt. You are now sealed in divine certainty. Heaven's atmosphere shifts once more as radiant portals of gold open above. From them descend symbols of blessing, health, peace, wisdom, and abundance. Each settles into your field like seeds in fertile ground. Michael proclaims, "These are your inheritance. They will flourish in proportion to your gratitude." Protect them, not with worry, but with worship. Live as one who trusts the source completely. The golden light expands, filling your surroundings, anchoring heaven's vibration into the earth through you. Finally, the Archangel speaks the closing decree. By the authority of the eternal light, I declare your shield permanent, your crown radiant, and your mission unstoppable. You will walk through days of change, but change will never break you again. You will move through uncertainty, but uncertainty will now serve as your compass. Every word of faith you release will reshape the world. You are not waiting for miracles. You are the miracle heaven sent. As the vision fades, peace settles so deeply within you that even silence feels alive. You have reached the conclusion of this divine journey, but the story continues through your every breath, through every act of love and truth you bring into the world. Archangel Michael's final whisper reaches you like a sigh of wind. Guard this message. Live in it. Speak it. The world is listening. Before you depart from this sacred space, seal this covenant publicly. Like this video, as a declaration of alignment. Comment the phrase below to anchor this revelation in the physical realm. Share this message with those who need divine protection. Subscribe to remain within the flow of heaven's continuous guidance. Your participation multiplies the reach of light itself. Type "I am sealed in divine authority" in the comments if this message has transformed you. Blessing Ode 6262 is now released, sealing your eternal covenant with peace and radiant power. Beloved torchbearer, as this message completes its circle, heaven calls for your partnership in sustaining the mission of light. When you sow through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a voice. You are fueling a movement of restoration. Archangel Michael declares, every seed sown into light becomes armor for another soul. Your offering becomes spiritual oil that keeps these messages burning across nations. I speak blessing over every giver. May your homes carry unshakable peace. May doors of favor open without resistance. And may the fire of divine protection multiply around you. Act not out of habit, but obedience. Release your seed, and let heaven confirm your covenant in power.